Good morning, good afternoon, and good late evening in Europe. And welcome to this webinar called Integrate Your Energy with me and David Router. I'll introduce David to you in a moment. First of all, I'd like to just welcome you from really all over the world and to say it's very early here in Australia. It's 6 o'clock in the morning. I know it's late, everyone who's on Central European time. So I'm very grateful that you're here, and I hope that, in fact, I'm sure that you'll find it worthwhile. I know that you may feel pretty sleepy by the end, but hopefully we'll keep you active enough during the session for you to make your way through it. The work that David's going to do with you today is amazing. And it's very powerful. We've had lots of people do it this year already, and it's made an enormous difference to their life. I still regularly get people saying to me, oh my goodness, that course I did back in January has changed everything for me. So this is the beginning. This is an introduction to that work. Okay. So I know that there are many people here who have never heard of me or David. There are also many people here who have heard of me and probably of David through me at least. And those of you who've never come across us before, maybe you've come from ASEP. We sent an email through ASEP because David and his partner are members. And a lot of you signed up from there, which is wonderful. I think that it's probably important that we just introduce ourselves very briefly so you get a little bit of an orientation as to who you're working with today. And then I'm going to tell you a little bit about what we're going to do today, and then David and I are going to introduce just some basics about what it means to be highly sensitive, the effect that being highly sensitive has had, or the effect that COVID has had on people who are highly sensitive, especially because I'm sure that many of you are feeling that, even if you wouldn't have been able to put a name to it. And we're going to talk a little bit about how we learn with energy, because what we're doing today is all about your energy, as you'll discover. And then the bulk of the session we're going to spend actually doing some work with your energy. So it's going to be very practical, and it will make a very tangible difference to you in just what we're going to do today. Okay, so I'm Sarah McCrum. In terms of the very short version of my life that's particularly relevant here, I spent 22 years of my life training with Chinese masters, 2 Chinese masters. And what that really means is that I ended up, for most of that time, living, thinking, breathing energy all the time. Everything I thought about in my life, I thought about and explored through the lens of energy. The Chinese are thousands of years masters and studiers of energy in particular. And so I learned a tremendous amount from that. And then one day, after I'd finished all the training with Chinese masters and I was looking for something more, I was looking to fill in the gaps, I was at a cafe with a little group of healers on the Sunshine Coast in Australia where I live, and there was this guy there called David, and he introduced himself, we all introduced ourselves, and towards the end he said, hey Sarah, if you come and visit me, I can help you a little bit with your energy and your channeling. I didn't really know exactly what he was offering, but it just felt to me like, I think I need to do that. So a few days later, I went along to his house. I was on my way to a business lunch and all dressed up and everything, thinking I'd just be there for about an hour, like a normal meeting. And arrived at his house, and he started doing this work with me on my energy, which has made an enormous, enormous difference to me. And 2.5 hours later, I'd missed my business lunch, but I was hooked. And a week later, I was telling other people about this amazing work that I'd done, and started bringing my friends and my clients to see David immediately. And that was probably 7-8 years ago. And ever since then, he has been the person who I trusted to, I have given him complete freedom with my energy, so to speak. And as somebody who's worked with energy for so long, I don't do that very easily. Definitely. It's very rare. So and I'll just tell you one single thing about the effect that it had on me that was so tangible right from the beginning, which was that 2 or 3 days after that first session, I went to a 3-day event in Sydney, and it was huge. It was a big conference, and it was one of those ones which is selling, just selling, selling, selling all day long, and trying to get people to rush to the back of the room and buy stuff. I was on my own there, and I remember sitting through the entire thing in this kind of bubble, totally self-contained, no sense of being invaded by anybody else's energy. I didn't feel tired at the end of the day. Um, and I was just there. It was like I was in my own space, and there was no bleeding of energy from me to other people to me. And that was an extraordinarily different experience from what I'd had, where normally if I'm in a very crowded place, I can feel far too much and it's way too uncomfortable for me, so I really don't like it. So that was a little kind of foretaste of what was to come for me, in terms of being able to find my own self, really, and just just know myself and be myself, rather than being this kind of mix of so many other people, because of all the energy that I'd picked up over the years and got mixed up. So that's just a little tiny bit about me. I'm going to introduce David now and ask him to tell you a tiny bit about himself. And yeah, and then we'll go on. So David, welcome, and
Morning,
thank you
Sarah.
so much for the work that we're going to do together.
Morning, everybody. Hi.
Oh,
So yeah.
uh, I can't
If,
hear you. Can I just check?
sorry.
Can other people hear him? Can you just, you
Yes.
can?
Oh, hang
Yes.
on. Sorry. Is that better? Can you hear me now?
Okay, I'll sort that out. You keep going.
Okay. Um, so a few of you may be familiar with my work through Helping Parents Heal, because we help thousands of people every year through that. And it's also exactly the same as highly sensitive people. Everybody is energy based, but there's one part that I'd like to share with everybody today, and that's actually our spirit. And I will tell you a little bit about myself. So, first off, I've done this since I was basically, I don't know, as far back as I can remember. Okay. So, I've just been doing this off and on for a large part of my life. And as a child, I could walk around and just do flowing prayers, more or less, and just heal people like that. And then when I was in my 20s, I just decided to try and be normal like everybody else. And basically, that's when the wheels fell off the wagon, and um, my life basically turned into quite a mess. But at the same time, I was highly successful as an executive chef for a really large hotel. You know, I had everything. I had a new wife, had a really nice house, everything you could probably think of that would make you happy in a life. But I was feeling absolutely dead inside. And that was when I started to reuse how to use my energy again. Because as you know, as a highly sensitive people, when you meet somebody for the very first time, what their energy is telling you and what they're actually verbalizing are two different things. Yeah. So I basically lost a lot of that, and I had to turn it back on. So I basically learned also what not to do, and that's the hard thing. So when you're a highly sensitive person, um, you learn lots of different ways to more or less survive. And what I'm going to teach you today is not so much survive, go into survival mode, but actually go into a mode where we're fully and active. So when we're fully active, um, it's a totally different reaction. It's a totally different response, because when we're in self-survival mode, it's like we're trying to read everybody first. And as soon as you meet somebody for the very first time, when you're highly sensitive, you're really good at it, because everybody actually scans. Your energy goes out and it feels what somebody's like, whether they're nice, whether they're going to invade, whether they're really forceful, if they're a total arsehole, or whatever is going on. And we're going to change that. You'll still do that to a degree, but it'll be totally different because you learn to do that to yourself. Because if I asked everybody, what's your energy like? You know, when everybody comes up and feels you, what do they feel? Do they feel, are you nice? Are you invasive? Are you forceful? But the thing is, what people will generally feel is that they can actually, in a way, um, basically take advantage, okay? Because we're so open. So the biggest thing we need to remember is that we have all these increments that highly sensitive people get into. So the biggest one is that we find our self-security, okay? And our self-security is the part that is really, really hard for everybody to identify exactly what's going on in our lives. So what I found is through lots and lots of work and being able to identify energy, consciousness, and matter, and what actually is going on in our life is that highly sensitive people, we go from one increment of what our spirit is telling us, because that's the one when we go up to somebody else and we say, are you nice? Are you going to treat me nice? Are we going to have a fair and equal life? Are we going to be able to have a conversation without you belittling me? Are we going to have a conversation that you aren't going to take advantage? But we also have this next increment, which is more physical. And physical energy, by its nature, is really rough. It's really over. It is so loud that it basically overpowers what is our nice spirit energy here that is quiet. And that's what we feel quite often when we're alone. You know, when we go away and we say, oh, I've had enough of that crap, and we go back and we listen just in our own energy, it's subtle. And it's the subtle energy that gets basically taken out of our own personal conversation, like the conversation that moves through our whole body. Now, that subtle conversation is where we find all the increments of everything that makes us solid, everything that makes us able to, doesn't matter what comes up in life, you can handle it. Like, I mean, I can go and stand in front of 3,000 people and enjoy it. It doesn't really faze me, you know. And earlier, as a highly sensitive person, there's no way I could have done that. You know, just standing in front of 10 people was almost terrifying. Now it doesn't. You know, I can go into a big crowd and it just doesn't affect me. So going back, so we have this increment of spirit energy, we have this increment of physical energy, and physical energy is also passive aggressive, okay? As well as being loud, it's a bit like give and take. I'll give you a little bit, but I'm going to take a lot. And as a highly sensitive person, we feel it. But sometimes we don't even know why we feel it or how we're feeling it. So we also go into our emotions and feelings in this physical area, because that's what we generally do. We sit in this physical plane, if you like, and it's all give and take. So what we're going to do is we're going to learn, instead of give and take, we share. So if you go back to old Mother Hubbard's cupboard, if once the cupboard's bare, it's like we give everything away, you know, just try, we become a little bit of a people pleaser, yeah? We just give and give and give, yeah? But when we take, we will then take on other people's energy, okay? So why do we do that? It's very simple. When we get stressed or we feel like we're being invaded, we sort of shut down. We go into stealth mode, and we go into fight or flight mode, where we're just trying to pull everything back, okay? So we move out of this nice, beautiful, secure spirit body, and we move into the physical body, and it's reacting and responding. So it's like we cut off all these beautiful messages that tell us how to be secure, how to move our energy, and most importantly, how to use our consciousness. Because in this compartment here are all the answers that we've been looking for, the whole lot. It holds a lot. But we often think of our spirit body as being something like, oh, it's like the sacred lamb. Yeah, it's like it can't be touched. And it can be. We teach everybody how to use your spirit body, and it's not just using your heart. Because in this course, we'll be going back and using your actual soul energy, because as soon as we get a problem, and we have a saying in Australia, basically where the shit hits the fan, and we go and we start to close down, yeah? But that happens basically because we can't use the next most important component. So we use our heart, because as soon as we get the problem, we go back to the heart, and it's like, please don't hurt me. But our heart is our interpreter, okay? All the real answers come from our soul. So eventually we're going to go back to the soul, and we're going to teach you how to use that soul as it's an actual commodity of yourself. It's not untouchable. It has an energy, it has a consciousness, and it's what backs up everything, okay? It's your backup, buddy. It tells you how to do everything, yeah? So once you get into that, it changes your whole perspective. So instead of give and take, it's like, we'll give you a little bit, or where we give a little bit, but then we take. So what happens is, when we get a little bit stressed, our energy goes deep inside our body, yeah? So does our consciousness. It's like we repress, we regress, and basically we turn off, which means that the person who is the aggressor, or the more physical person, or because we live in a physical world, yeah, it's quite loud and it's harsh, and it comes in, and it basically, because we've brought everything in, it allows everything to come in. But that's not the most important part. The most important and the largest thing I found was that when that happens is, when we bring energy and consciousness all the ways back in, we split 50-50. And then another part of us will sit outside. It sounds really wacky and it sounds weird, but it is how we are, okay? Part of us is actually sitting outside. Now, if that energy is sitting outside, that's why we feel so highly sensitive. It's weird, isn't it? This huge energy of ourselves sitting outside. And it was, when I first showed you that, Sarah, it was pretty crazy, wasn't it?
I remember you saying to me, it's like there's a ghost of you. It's like a whole bag that's sort of attached by a thread, which was full of me, but it was not functioning because it was just this thread attached to me. And I always had this image of this kind of ghost walking around attached to my foot or something, of all the missing parts of me. And that, I guess, is why we can feel separated from ourselves, or why we can feel disconnected, because we are literally disconnected from ourselves, from parts of ourselves. Is that right,
Yeah.
David?
Yeah. So this highly sensitive self, and I mean, it was quite a surprise for me, because I knew it wasn't a ghost, because I've been seeing, I could see I was a child. And
So I'm actually going to just drop in here for a moment and say there's a couple of things that it's really useful to know about David, because he speaks a really different language about energy and about souls and bodies from what probably you're used to. But when you listen to it, it's really interesting, because what I found is that when I listened to it, I realized that it was really true, but it was different. And sometimes my mind would say, hold on a moment, you're using that word, and I'm used to using the word a different way. And so my mind would kind of throw a bit of a wobbly and say, what's all that? And it would be confusing. But what you'll discover is that if you listen with all of yourself, don't just listen with your head, your energy and your soul understand exactly what's being communicated here. Because when we communicate, both of us, we're not communicating just, our minds are like also an interpreter that gives you the words to describe what we're talking about, but we're actually communicating with your energy directly. And if you listen with your being, with all of yourself, you'll discover that you actually understand everything at a subtle level, even if sometimes your mind is kind of playing with, oh, What does he mean by increments, or what does he mean by spirit body? Is that something I can recognize or not? Do I have that in my vocabulary already? So don't get thrown off by those things. Just allow yourself to listen with your whole being and with your energy, and the change, the activation of your energy is already happening while we're talking, and then we'll get on to some exercises as well very soon, so that you'll experience it in a different way at the same time. Okay, David, I just wanted to
No,
drop that.
it's good. It's good for everybody to sort of get a as broad as perspective of what we're doing and how we're talking and what we're talking about, because
Yeah,
this work is a little bit different, because there's a few things that when you're highly sensitive, it's very easy to turn on, because when you're highly sensitive, you sense. We don't just feel, we sense. So your spirit body, your spirit energy, it senses. So when you go up to somebody for the very first time and you've never met them before, you get a really close diagnosis of what that person is like. Yeah. Now, we all think they haven't said a word, and you get really pretty close to the mark. Yeah. Now, how do you do it? Your whole body does it, not your head, your whole body. So your whole body comes out and has all these sensors and diagnostics that basically gives you feedback in all these different ways of what is going on. So eventually, yeah, it gets to the head and we process it. But we also have macro and micro processes all the way through our body that we have to use. So what we also need to do is we have to remember one thing. As soon as we sort of shut down through stress, through fear, or that we mightn't be good enough, and or we might have lots of different anxieties about different things. As soon as we start to turn down, our energy starts to slow down. It's like, whoa, yeah. And when it does, that's when we're vulnerable, because our energy does one thing: it sucks up what is around us. Okay. Now, as soon as our energy starts to suck up everything, what happens? We have the energy of everybody else, which means all our receptors through our whole entire body are beginning to get two conversations, or maybe three or four or five, depending on how many people are around you. So you haven't got just your information traveling around your entire body. You've got multiples of all different types of information, and you're sucking it up. But then what happens is all our receptors get a little bit confused. So they're all trying to figure out, is this me? Is that somebody else? And then sometimes these receptors then in turn shut down again, which means that we're only often then hearing this very harsh and really ridiculously loud conversation that is coming at us. But it's not just external, it's internal. So we've internalized all what is going on, yeah? Which makes it very confusing for us to actually hear ourselves. So what I say this is like is, it's like we're in our own movie, and then it gets to the point sometimes we're not the star of our movie, and we're hardly even an extra. So we've got to turn all this back on again so we can actually get this moving, because as soon as our energy and our consciousness don't move, it sucks up whatever is in our environment. So we're going to teach you straight out off the bat today. We're going to teach you how to ground a little bit. We're going to teach you how to use a little bit of your spirit energy just on a whole, nothing too complicated. We're going to learn how to dump a lot of this crazy energy that we've sucked up, and also how this energy comes and it creates like a false and fake environment around us, because when our energy isn't working properly or as cohesively as it should, we end up with dragging all the emotions and feelings and the energy of everybody else. We bring it in, and we've got this an environment of everybody else's crap, if you like. And it just sits here. It's not your aura. Your aura gets pushed way out to the side.
Make sure to mute your mic.
So,
David, could you say just briefly also something about COVID and the effect that COVID has had on people's energy? Because it's a story that continues and continues and continues.
It's a continuing story. So, through COVID, first of all, underneath our feet, there's basically a layer between 3 and 40 feet that is all the energy of the world, okay? It's all, and there's a lot of forceful energy in there, okay? Some of it's good, but a lot of it's quite forceful. It's all this loud physical energy. So our energy can't actually get down into the ground, into the universal energy, if you like, or into the free, just call it the free energy, right? All the beautiful energy that's in the world, we often can't get into it because our energy goes down and it bounces. Now, after COVID, that changed. It went, and it just blew my mind because it went from about 30 feet to now being 300 feet, which meant that people's energy is all bouncing around. It can't get in, which means we don't feel secure. Now, it also means that we drag all our energy even more, okay? Because our spirit, we all go in, the whole energy of the world is in quite this big fear factor, yeah? Which means that we regress and we repress all our energy in. It means that we're all a little bit more fear-based, yeah? So instead of living life matter-based, so our energy moves when it's in a living life matter format, and it gets to breathe and it does all sorts of wonderful things. It represses, regresses, and it comes in. So it's like we become not just a little bit introverted, we become incredibly introverted, yeah? So it means that we feel the crap that's going on the outside 1,000 times more, which means that we feel so repressed and regressed, we don't feel secure enough to come back out again, yeah? And that's, even today, we're going to dump a whole load of that crap. So at least we can come back out a bit, yeah? So one other thing, if you've got headsets on, if you can do without your headsets, it's a bit hard for some people because you've got lots of people in your home. And the reason I say that is because otherwise your energy stays in your head. But our whole body is a whole micronism of all this different energy. And we've got to use your whole body. Otherwise, this energy just stops in your head. So we've got to use all what's in your body. We also need to use all this consciousness, which is in all your body. Because between our spirit and our consciousness, it converts to our energy. And then it starts to mean that all the energy that's very robust and pushing on us can't come in quite so easily, okay? It's like we're pushing it back and we just get to feel us for its change. Now, it's not unusual for some people who are absolutely crazily, not just sensitive, but way highly oversensitive, to actually almost have a couple little tears when you feel your own energy again. Why? Because you finally get a message of you, that you matter. Because that's self-love. Because what happens is when we're highly sensitive and all this goes on, we turn off loads and loads of our self-love. Now, self-love is the most important thing that we need to turn on and make sure we get all this involvement of our whole entire life, okay? It's nothing, none of this is, has nothing to do with any type of religion or anything. It's just energy and conscious base, you know? It's just, we have a love of self. We have to be able to use it so we can get the most out of life, yeah? Because everybody's got this beautiful being inside and we've got to bring it all out. We have to use it. And when you're highly sensitive, don't think of yourself as broken. You're highly evolved, okay? That's the thing. When you're highly sensitive, you're highly evolved, which means that you can get a hell of a lot more out of life, okay? You can find the most incredible beauty in a lot of things a lot of people don't see. But remember, a lot of those amazing things are the small things that everybody else misses, you know? Remember, we see a lot of stuff that just makes us happy. It's the tiniest little stuff that makes us happy. But when we become influenced by all this crap, that sort of shuts us down, and that often represses our joy of life. Yeah. So, with that said, I'll just have a drink of tea and we can get started. Okay. So, if everyone wants to stand up, we're actually going to get started. Okay.
We are working with energy here, so if you feel strange at any time, sit down, send me a message. Okay, I'll open up the chat so that I can see. Yeah, just from time to time, because you know when your energy changes, it can feel a little bit uncomfortable at times. So just let me know.
Okay. So we're going to start off just purely by active grounding. So it's not like earthing. What happens is all our energy has to move. Okay. So as our energy begins to move, we start to become more secure just in ourselves, even just with that, because we start to find all this good stuff that's in us. Don't try and overthink this or try and overplay it. Just imagine kids are the ones who do this so easily because they don't try and overthink it. You know, as we get older, we try and think about things too much. Just go along with the flow. If you feel it, you feel it. If you don't, you don't. Okay.
Oh, that's
Gradually.
actually, can I emphasize that, David? David will sometimes say things like, you can feel this moving now, or you can feel that happening. And some of you will say, what? I can't feel that at all. Some of you will say, can I? Can't I? I'm not sure. I can feel something, but I'm not sure if it's the same as what David's experiencing or describing. And some people will say, oh, I can feel exactly what he's describing. It doesn't matter. Okay, it just doesn't matter. Please don't get hung up on that. I've spent lots of time with him not being able to feel what he was describing, and some time being able to feel some of it. There are people I know who in their first session feel everything in a way that I never have. It has not stopped me from learning just gaining an incredible amount. All right, just some of us feel energy in different ways, and that's the way it is.
Way talking to your body. I'm talking to your spirit. I'm talking to your consciousness. I'm talking to the matter in your body. So we're just going to go nice and slow. We're just going to have fun, really. So just as I said, take it easy. Don't stress and just play. I mean, it's really hard as adults. You know, we get all too caught up in everything, and especially as soon as everybody says, "Oh, it's your spirit. Oh, it's something sacred." Well, sort of, but hey, it's just you. That's the big thing. Your spirit is just you. I mean, we all can use it. It's just sitting there, but that's the whole thing. It's you. So use it yourself. That's the whole thing. We teach you to use it because your body can't do anything it doesn't want to do in a way. So I'm just like a travel guide. I just show you where all the good stuff is. It's like we're going for a big journey, and I just show you all the good stuff, okay? And how to delete some of the crappy bits. That's it. So just put your hands on the side of your legs now. Just give them a little bit of a rub, because a lot of you aren't used to energy work. Now, I've also moved my legs open a little bit, so I've got a good stance. The reason I say that is because this is a bit weird, but it's a bit like meditating standing up. Only as you move your energy and your spirit energy, your consciousness opens up. So it's like opening up this great. So imagine your consciousness can stay on one level. Automatically, we open up your consciousness and it starts to move simultaneously. Okay? So it's a bit like for those who've meditated, It's a bit like going deeper in meditation, but you're aware of what's going on. You're not going into a full, you don't sleep, okay? Especially when you're standing up. We'll be sitting down, you know?
Let's hope.
Okay, so hands on the side of your legs and just close your eyes and just relax. Okay, here we go. So just breathe in, nice and easy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold that breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just breathe out. Just breathe normal for a second. Just breathe normal. And again, please breathe in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just breathe out. Just breathe normal. Just breathe normal. One more time. Breathing in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold that breath. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just breathe out normal. Now, the reason I've done that is so that your energy is focused on what's in you, not outside you. Okay, so here we go. Now, with our hands on our legs, and they're on the side of our legs, make sure your hands are on the side of your legs. We're just moving the energy in your body. Okay, now this is actually more or less your spirit body only. It's just moving. It's just starting to get a little bit of an idea that it has to move. Still moving, still moving, still moving. And a few people might feel a little bit of energy more in their jaw. Doesn't really matter. It's just where we've been impacted by everybody else around us. Now, something strange may happen in a minute. It's like your body will start to rock. Or you might feel your body is just as much as starting to move forward, just a little bit. So we're going to hold this until everybody gets on board. And you'll feel it's like you're moving downwards. Now everybody's starting to move down. Whether you can feel it or not, doesn't really matter. You may start to feel you're moving forward now. If you do, you do. If you don't, you don't. Don't get too hung up about it, okay? Now, we'll be moving forward once, moving forward twice, moving forward 3 times, and now we'll just put our hands on our hips. If you're highly sensitive and or over highly sensitive, you may even feel your body come together just a little bit. Okay, so we have a feminine and a masculine body, and the left-hand side is whatever sex you are. So if you're a woman, the left-hand side is your feminine side, and your right-hand side is your masculine. And we have to use them all. I'm just moving forward now, once, twice, 3 times, and just bring your hands to a normal old prayer position. Now, we're not praying. We're searching for some energy that is deep inside you, and it's just going to come out a little bit, okay? Sometimes you feel it on your first time. Sometimes we've got to do a few more exercises until you finally feel it. But we're just starting off here. Moving forward once, twice, 3 times. Now we put our left hand on our right shoulder and the right hand on our left shoulder. And what we're doing now is we're making sure that the left and the right hand side of our body is moving. You might think that they're both equal. Well, that'd be nice if they were. But unfortunately, in most cases, the right side of our body is our weakest link, okay? It doesn't move so much. So let's engage and swap those arms over to the other way, okay? And again, we're just simply engaging both sexes of our spirit and of our energy, okay? And we're just moving forward again once, moving forward again twice, moving forward again 3 times. We bring our hands back to a prayer position, just normal. And what we're doing is when we put our hands in our prayer position, we're basically locking in all the good stuff that we found, okay? And we're moving forward once, twice, 3 times. Now we drop our hands to the side with the palms facing me, basically, or the computer screen. And what we're doing now is we're dumping some energy that has just been a little bit obtrusive and it's not really us, okay? Don't be surprised if you feel all these little tingles in your fingers. We're just dumping, okay? And we're moving forward once, we're moving forward twice, moving forward 3 times, and we bring our hands back to a normal prayer position to finish. 1, 2, 3. Now, we're going to repeat this all again, only this time we put our hands on the front of our legs, please. Now, in this side, we're using more of our physiology, okay? This one's more about spirit, this is more about the physiology of yourself. And we're just holding it here till everybody's energy gets really cranking up a bit. That's better. Everyone's starting to get it. Feel how you're starting to move forward? You can't help it. It's weird, isn't it? And you're going forward once, twice, 3 times. Now we just put our hands on our hips. Again, we're bringing everything together. More so in this one than even your last one, because in our physical body, our right side, sometimes it is just hardly moving, and we're just holding this a little bit more to get it all moving. That's it. A little bit more. I know some of you are moving. I'm waiting for everyone to catch up. There we go. Now it's moving forward once, twice, 3 times, and we go back to a normal prayer. And we're going to dig out some of that really good stuff that's deep inside. You know how we repressed a lot of stuff? Yeah, we've sent it down there. Well, we're going to bring it out. Out it comes, nice and easy. Moving out. All this beautiful you coming out to play again. We're just going to hold this a little bit longer because everybody's had a lot of stuff and a lot of force put on them. Now we're all moving forward once, twice, 3 times. Again, we'll go to shoulders. So left hand opposite on your right, right hand on your left shoulder. And remember, we're moving the energy right around the whole entire body. So your energy needs to make full cycles of energy, okay? Because if it doesn't, then we listen more to everybody else than ourselves. And that's really important because if we don't listen to ourselves, we turn off our intuition, we turn off our instinct. And 1, and 2, and 3. And let's swap those arms over the other way. That's it. And 1, and 2, and 3. And you're all making beautiful cycles of energy now. Back to a prayer position. Normal old prayer. 1, 2, 3. And we dump. Hands out to the side. Palms facing towards knee basically. So when your energy starts to move, we start to turn on our intuition and our instinct. Because if we aren't getting messages from our intuition and instinct, we close down, yeah? We don't feel secure, which means we don't ask the questions of what's really going on. Moving forward once, twice, 3 times, hands back to a prayer position. All coming together now without a lot of interference. 1, 2, 3. Good job. Now, we're going to next put our hands onto our chest, please. And keep your eyes closed.
Interlace your fingers.
Yeah, sorry, interlock them and then just put them flat on your chest. Okay. Now, while our hands are here, they basically take notice of what is moving in our consciousness. Okay. Nice and easily. And it's good. And we're all moving. 1, 2, 3. Hands back to a prayer position. 1, 2, 3. Now, hands back onto the side of your legs again, everybody, please. Keep those eyes closed and just relax. Now, we're going to move your energy and your consciousness more as just one energy this time, okay? Now, as we move your energy, when I look through everybody, you all look like a barcode, okay? So, as we move through, we find what are like little blockages, okay? So, once we find a blockage, I'm going to say, okay, guys, just dump. So when we dump again, we just put our hands to the side and we just let everything that has created that blockage, which is basically a lot of anxiety, fear, and forced energy from a lot of other exposures that we've been around. Okay, so hands on the side of our legs again, still. And that energy is starting to move from your top of your forehead and is just slowly moving down near your eyes, near your nose. It moves just underneath your nose, down to your lips. And there's a lot of people who had a lot of head force put on them. So let's just dump. So hands to the side, just dump. Let it all come out. That's it. Let it go. Now, the good thing is when we're doing this as a whole group, every person helps each other, okay? It's great. And straight back on the side of your legs, please, everyone. Good work. We're moving now all the way down to the base of your chin, going down your throat, and we get all the way down into your body. So we're in your shoulders, and we're just about around your armpit area, okay? Again, where this energy is, it has just hit a little roadblock, so we're going to dump. Hands out to the side, let it go. Let it go, just dump. There's a lot of force just coming out now. Yeah, lots and lots of force just coming out. Some of you may even notice that the energy inside your body is almost unraveling a little bit, okay? Because there's a hell of a lot of really highly sensitive people here. And again, hands back on the side of your legs, guys, okay? So this is just teaching all us highly sensitive people how to talk to our body more, okay? Rather than everybody else. Okay, from around where your armpits are, it's moving nice and easy down your body, still going down and it gets all the way till it's nearly to right at the base of our chest on our diaphragm there. Our diaphragm holds heaps and heaps of stress, okay? Hands out to the side again. We're going to dump. Now, we also hold a lot of stresses from our parents and grandparents as well, just in our diaphragm. So this has got nothing to do with us, okay? Just let it go. Nice and easy. Now, we're going to point our hands, instead of the front, we're going to point behind us now, okay? Point your hands, point your fingers behind your body. The reason we're doing this is because when we're highly sensitive, it's very easy to focus on what has happened to past relatives than us, yeah? So there might have been some people who are almost fallen backwards, yeah? And now we're going to all move forward. And again, point those hands forward again, please. That's it. Big release. Yeah. Lots of junk, bits of crap coming out. Let it go. Have a good laugh at it. See you later. I'll stick this stuff. Bye-bye. And it's back to the side of our legs. Okay. Now we're moving from your diaphragm now, very gently. And as we go through all these lower organs, nice and gently. And it'll only get as far as your hips, okay? Because quite a few people are quite uptight, especially in your stomach and the intestine areas. So let's dump again. Now, the good thing is your energy's all starting to move as we release this crap. Why do I know that? Because I feel like yawning, okay? I see lots of tongue sorts. Why? Because you're waking different bodies up. And straight back onto the side of your legs. And we're moving now nice and easy until we get right down to our reproductives, because in our reproductives, it's not just about having children and sex, it's also about how we reproduce what we need in life, okay? Hands out to the side, please. Now, we're going to do something else. We're going to point our fingers as though we're pointing out to the side, okay? So it's like palms are facing the floor and fingers out, okay? Let it go. And hands straight to the front again. Hands back on the side of your body. And now we go into your legs. Now, the amount of cellular memory in our legs is crazy, okay? They're like two massive USB sticks or hard drives. And sometimes going through our legs takes quite a lot, okay? And we're just slowly, slowly, slowly moving down, and we get about a bit over a third of the way down, and everybody's legs are stopped. Hands to the side, guys. Nice and easy. Let all that energy go. A lot coming out, isn't it? Now, don't forget, if you're having a hard time, open your eyes. Open your eyes. If you're having a hard time, just let it go, because there's a lot of people here having a little bit of a hard time. Just let it go. Open your eyes. Wonderful. Hands back onto the side of your legs. And we just relax. Because what all that energy was, it was nothing to do with us, yeah? Nothing. It's not us. Just a bit of crap that we pulled in, yeah? So, very, very gently, just push your hands up and down on the side of your legs. Just pull them up and down, nice and easy. Now, this isn't our stuff, okay? This isn't. A lot of stuff that when we release, it's not ours, okay? It's just been pushed. It's where energy has been a bully, okay? Okay, close your eyes again if you've got your eyes open. And we're moving down all the way into the knees. The energy is moving down really quickly, just underneath your knees, and hands out to the side. That's it. Great big dump. The amount we hold here is ridiculous. And bring your hands forward now for me, please. So some of you may have felt that a lot in your head, okay? It's where we regurgitate other people's messages over our own, okay? So we reprocess, and it just goes round the head, round, but it's got nothing to do with us because it's just other people's crap. So that's why we can't find an answer for it, you know? It's not our question. Hands back on the side of your legs. So basically, all we're doing is we're asking questions. Is this me? Is it not me? Okay, that's all we're asking. And that energy now moves all the way right to the base of your feet, right to the base of your feet, hands out to the side. Because we're going to have some really exciting news for you in a second. We're going to show you some really incredible stuff that you may not notice. And hands back onto the side of your legs. Now, what we're going to do now is keep your eyes closed. You'll find that we're grounding and we're going down. Now, as we still keep going down, we're going to find what is called a feedback body, and it tells us what is going on in our secure body, but this is part of our security that let go, okay? This is a large part of your security body that let go in your feedback body, and we go down about probably 6 or 7 feet. Now, this is where your feedback body is, and it's as big as you, and we're starting to go through it. That's it. I know it's strange, I know it's weird, and we're just finding this extra security blanket of you going down, and we're down to about the diaphragm of this other body of you, still going down to your hips. It's just going through the legs all the way down. It's right to the base of that other body, and while it's down here, we're going to hold it. We're going to make sure there's no other little bits and pieces that need to come in. Now it's coming up. Up comes this other body straight into your feet, moves into your legs. It's coming up your legs, gets as far as your knees, gets about nearly up all the way through your thighs, but it stops about a third of the way up. Okay, so hands out to the side, and we just release anything that stops all this beautiful body from coming back in. That's enough. Hands back on the side of your legs, and up it comes. All the way back up. Nice and easy. All this beautiful energy of you coming back in, nice and gently. Beautiful. Now, hands onto the front of your legs. And on the front of you, but on your forehead here, there's this beautiful part that's in between your hairline and your eyelids. And it's like a tide line. It's about halfway on your forehead, basically. You might see a lot of light there, or you may feel it, okay? And that's where all our energy is being pushed right up into the top of our head, so that all our processes are stuck up here instead of being all the way through our body. Now this is going to start moving down now. So that energy moves down to our eyebrows, down to our eyes, our nose, our mouth, base of our chin, goes down our throat. It moves almost a third of the way down your chest and hands out the side. So with that feedback body, already we're becoming way more secure. Way more secure. Our bodies are quietening down straight away. Which means that we're not quite as loud and there's not so much going on in our heads because we're starting to listen to our own energy, our own conscious, instead of everybody else's junk that's being pushed in, okay? Hands back on the front of your legs, please, everyone. Beautiful. Now, just waiting for it to move again. Here we go. It's getting right down into your diaphragm, but this time when it goes into your diaphragm, it's going incredibly deep. And it's going into the consciousness that's deep inside that diaphragm. And let's dump, guys. Just let it go. That's it. Because when we dump, we're listening more to us. Every time we dump, we listen to more of the conversation of ourselves. And straight back to the front of our legs, please. Here we go. We're moving all the way down really quickly. We've moved down to your hips, all the way down to your reproductives, and again it stops. Hands out to the side, please. Let that go. Lots of stress. Again, bring your hands up as though you're pointing to the screen. Now we're going to point behind. Straight back, hands on the front of your legs, please. Front of your legs, guys. Hands on the front of your legs. Down we go. Into the legs. That's it. Nice and easy, nice and gently. Letting that move down all the way. And we're just on the bottom side of your knees there. So hands out to the side. Beautiful. Let that all go. Hands back to the front of your legs. And that energy's moving nice and easy again until it gets right to the base of your feet. Hands out to the side. Your bodies are starting to quieten down. You may notice that your head is starting to get nice and quiet also because you're just listening to you guys. The most important thing in your life, you. Hands back on the front of your legs. And again, we go down and we find this conscious feedback, which is about 7 feet underneath, in our grounding. Down we go. And we're just finding that next feedback body. We're going through the head, through the chest, down to the hips, into the legs, all the way right to the bottom. Hands are still on the front of our legs here. Down we go. And that energy is coming up into our knees, coming up into our thighs, right into our reproductives, moving up to our navels, chest, right at the base of the chest. It gets about a third of the way through our chest and it stops. So hands out to the side, please. Just let it go. That's it. Nice and easy. And straight back to the front of your legs, please. And up it comes. Moves all the way up. Nice and easy. Right up into the top of your body. And it goes right up into your head. It's a bit different, isn't it? It's strange. And dump again. Hands out to the side. Just dump. And bring your hands straight back to a prayer position. And already we're starting to become a little bit quieter. Check it out. See how nice and quiet your head is. Because we're just listening to ourselves, yeah? Hands straight onto your chest now, please. And we're listening to the consciousness that is moving in our body, because this is the part of where we get our security, guys. Our consciousness is picking up the spirit messages, and it's just telling us how to become more secure in ourselves. And this is really important for us highly sensitive people. It's incredibly important, because what we're doing is we're sending out trillions and trillions of messages and saying, we're basically asking questions, okay? So we're questioning the whole body. Is this me? Is this me? Is this me? Yeah? And we're starting to get feedback about it, okay? Then we're starting to get more secure that it is. Hands straight back to a prayer position. Everything comes in nice and easy, nice and gently. Hold it here. Now, with your eyes still closed, just open your prayer position so the palms are still facing each other, but just open them to the width of your face. And whether you can feel it or not, there's a lot of energy right on the back of the palms of your hands, right on the back of your hands there. Feel it? So this is the energy of everybody else. And for some of you, it is really, really hard and stiff. Okay? Now, as I said, this is where we've basically sucked up the energy of everybody else. Put your hands back to a prayer. And while your hands are in this prayer position, it's like being in a little bit of a little tornado. All the energy you may feel just lift off you, okay? Some of you may swing around in the breeze a little bit, so make sure your legs are a little bit further apart here. And all this energy that's not you is just lifting off. Why? Because we're using neutral energy, okay? And that's the big thing. When we use neutral energy, we find what moves naturally, not forced. Because if you try and force something away, you get more of it, yeah? It's like when you're having a crappy day. You try and force things to get better, and what happens? So often gets worse. Now, again, just push your hands a little bit apart, right to the width of your face, and out a little bit further, and there's still a lot of pressure there, a lot of force. So bring your hands back in. So don't forget, highly sensitive people are nice people. So what we've done is we found a lot of people who aren't really using much of their spirit. And we can't really have a conversation with them, okay? So we say, can I help you basically be more responsible for your spirit, because obviously you don't know you got one. And then what happens is we try to be responsible for their energy as well. We just suck it all up. It's like we're a bit of a shit magnet, more or less, okay? And now it's like, and hands are apart again. And we'll get out to as far as our shoulders. So what it's like is when you come up to everybody, it's like they dump great big wet sponges on you all the time. And it's basically where you're being extra nice for everybody else's crap, okay? And now we're not. Because now we learned we don't need to. Bring your hands back to a prayer. That's it. Beautiful. And the energy in everybody's body now is starting to move. Good work, guys. Wonderful. Now, as your energy starts to move, it means that we're only using like a neutral positive, neutral negative. Because we're all used to negative energy, and that's when we feel the real force of everybody, but everyone's not used to when we feel over positive energy. So over positive energy is where everyone is pushy and manipulative. But when you're highly sensitive, you think it's a positive thing, and we just take it on. So we suck up the crap. Now we know not to suck up the crap, to over positive energy. Hands again, pull them to the side, and this time we'll go quite a ways open and see it's nice and clear. All the way out, you might be a little bit there, hands all the way back to a prayer. Now we're going to dump. Make sure there's no extra energy there, we just dump. Go hands back to a prayer position. And just let your hands be free for a second. Now, as I said, this is really important. We're learning to use neutral energy. Now, with neutral energy, it's a bit like walking through the Boeing factory, you know? It's massive. The energy that's you, we leave turned on. The energy that isn't you, we just turn off, and that's it. We don't force it. Because that's the trouble. When we're highly sensitive, you can feel things that aren't exactly us, yeah? So when we do that, if someone's got the, is everyone mic turned off? It's a bit loud there for a sec.
I think it was mine. Nico, was me moving the heater because it's freezing here.
Oh,
Sorry.
So as we use neutral energy, we learn to find what is just us. Now, neutral energy does this incredible thing. It notices what is us, and it gives us an opportunity to turn off what isn't us, because it's equally important to find what is us and what isn't us. Now, yes, we've got to change, and we all want to be more efficient, but we also become efficient by what we don't do. It's a bit like getting rid of bad habits, yeah? If we don't change the bad habits, then nothing else changes. It's like being an addict, yeah? We're addicted to something, and if we don't change being an addict, well, nothing changes. So this is how we change ourselves really easily, really quickly, and we just find the more formidable parts. I want all you guys to be formidable, strong. That's the whole idea of this. It's not about me doing the work for you. You are actually doing the work. As we go through these exercises, it's little parts that show you how to be more formidable, yeah? And that's really important. Now, just as much as cup your hands.
David, just as you're doing that, there are a few people here who are feeling kind of sick or nauseous or just a bit uncomfortable. So if you've just got a little bit of assistance for them.
No, just put your hands on the side of your legs. We'll just put the hands on the leg, and we're going to ground. Close your eyes, everyone. We're just grounding. Going down.
A lot of releasing going on here.
Yeah, there is. There's a lot of people, because we have a lot of women here too. There's a lot of people who've got a little bit of postpartum or postnatal depression here. You probably don't even know it. We're all going down. Feel it? Grounding, down, down, down. Keep going. Keep grounding. Also, if you're highly sensitive, a lot of people channel. Okay? So what we're going to do is just open your eyes, put your hands like two claws, and that's the thing. Most highly sensitive people channel. You just don't know that you channel. Because remember, intuition and instinct is a form of channeling. Just hold it here. Now just move your hands in and out. You'll feel the energy move through it, yeah? Now, bring your hands to the side of your legs, into your hips. Close your eyes. It's like you're on an elevator. And what you're doing is you're bringing in all these channels of you back. Hold them here. Keep those, they're like two little claws, yeah? You bring all these channels of you back. Nice and easy. Hold it there. Keep bringing it in. Hold it. you're all starting to move forward again. So moving forward once, twice, 3 times, and straight to a prayer position. Hold it there, guys. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Didn't realize we had so many channels here, but we have. We've got heaps of them. Now we're just making sure your channels move in. Coming in, coming in. It's a bit of one of those problems with being highly sensitive. We're just moving forward once, twice, 3 times. Now we're going to put our hands, hold your hands in front of your legs. So just...
Can you a little bit higher? We can't see it. Is
Oh,
it like
so,
claws facing towards the front of your legs? Okay.
So, like that.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Facing in. That's it. Now, you're all starting to ground. Feel that weird feeling? Feel how you're going down an elevator? Now, when we channel, a lot of our energy goes straight back to the other side, okay? And we're bringing it back to earth. Because when you sleep, it's very easy. There's a lot of you guys go out exploring when you sleep, okay? We'll be doing that as we go, because what happens is it's like you have portals that are open and your energy just goes way out. We've got to bring it all the ways back in. That's it. Bringing it in. Nice and easy. Keep bringing it in. More. More. Come on, guys. Keep bringing it in. If it gets uncomfortable, open your eyes. But you are just bringing it all in. That's it. There's loads of you just shaking there who are all channeling, and you're bringing all that energy back in. All those shakes are good because that's you turning on, okay? Where parts of our intuition and instinct go out, okay? And you're bringing it all the ways back in. Still bringing it in. Now put those hands straight on the front of your legs, please. Hold it here, right on the front of your legs. Hold it on there. All starting to shake. That's it. All starting to move, become more secure. Hands straight back to a prayer position, please. Hands straight back to hips. We're bringing everything together. Boy, there's a lot of really strong channelers here, Sarah.
Mm-hmm. Doesn't surprise me that much. Judith, yes, sit down if you need to.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, if you're experiencing kind of wobbly feelings, aching, all those kinds of things, these are all signs that the energy's moving. There's also old energy leaving you. These are good things. I've been in the world of energy healing for over 30 years, and I'm always happy when those kinds of things happen, because it means that there's always an improvement going on. Okay, it's just rather uncomfortable at the time.
So also remember that you're starting to find your power, okay? Instead of giving it away. This is you using your own power instead of giving it away, because as highly sensitive people, most of you don't realize how damn powerful you are, okay? But everybody else does because they're sucking on you, okay? And that's the whole idea. We're bringing this power back to you. It's really imperative. Hands back to a prayer position. Okay, we'll all sit down now. And we'll do this sitting down next week. Have some water if you need it. Now, I'll just turn this down so you can see me, and we'll go back to doing this exercise again, okay? So we just cup our hands just a little bit straight in front of us. Get rid of these arms. Now, we're making absolutely tiny little movements here, okay? Really small. And we just move them around, okay? Move these hands around and make sure your feet are on the ground, guys. So that energy that you can start to feel in your hands is all you. It sounds weird, but that's what we're doing. So what's happened is, due to stress, everybody looks like a sieve. So you have trillions and trillions of little holes. So we're going to bring in all what is basically you. Okay? So put your hands on the side of your legs. Close your eyes. And we're going to bring in all this beautiful you that has been sitting external. So this is just one start, one part, one increment of you that is sitting way outside, and in it comes. Nice and easy, pouring back in. All still coming in. Still coming back in. Lots of you. Keep coming. Still coming. And the reason I yawned for you, that was basically yawning for you, for so many of you waking up as you bring it all back in, because it's like a little body of you that's been externalized. And when it's externalized, it can't use your energy, yeah? But as it comes back in, it's like, hallelujah, I feel me again, yeah? It's weird stuff, I know, but it's all you. And you're coming back in. That's all that beautiful you, yeah? That's all you, coming back in. Because I want everybody to be as formidable and as strong as you can possibly be, yeah? That's the whole reason I do this stuff. I mean, I've been highly sensitive since I was a baby, and I mean crazy, crazy highly sensitive. But I was just lucky I was able to channel since I was a baby, and I just played with it and used it, and that's how I know what I know now, yeah? It is a lot of work to pull this back in, but it's a hell of a lot better than it all sitting outside and letting everybody else push us around, yeah? That's it. Still coming back in. Wonderful. And straight to a prayer position, lock that all in. Now, as you lock that in, whether you notice this or not, you've strengthened certain parts of your body, and they're all coming back in. You're bringing that in nice and easy. Now you are bringing out security. This is self-security coming out now. Just let it come out. There it is. All coming out nice and easy. That's all you coming out. Which means that we're starting to move loads and loads and loads of us that we haven't been able to access. And when we can't get access to it, what happens? We get anxious. We don't feel as strong. or secure. Okay. Again, put your hands back out in front, and we're going to do it all again. Now, this time, as you move around, move your hands quite a way out. And you can even move in front of you, around you, above you, but just go a little bit. Oh, hang on. You guys look all like windmills. Go really, really slow, gentle. Now we're listening for ultra. This energy is really, really sensitive, and it's quiet. When we're going like this, we listen to more the chaotic energy. But when we go like this, it's like the cartoon. Very quiet. We're hunting rabbits. for those who remember Looney Tunes cartoons, you know, you've got to be really, really quiet, really gentle, yeah. And learning that this energy is so ultra quiet, but your hands feel all this stuff, okay? And I'm going to show you how much and why they feel so much in very shortly, but we're just gently going around. Now, just move your hands out and just splay them out just a little bit. So we're just going out. And then bring those hands straight back, put them on your top of your legs, please. Make sure eyes are closed now. And again, all this beautiful you is coming back in.
I'm going to just say, like, we're clearly going to go over time. It's always difficult to predict with any group how long it's going to take. So if you have to leave, you'll get a recording afterwards. You can catch up with what you miss, okay? And if you're able to stay, please stay on with us.
Still coming in, still coming in. Now, because you guys clearly channeled so much at nighttime, more so than what you will ever know, we're just trying to bring you back in and make you a little bit more secure. Now, sometimes it feels a little bit strange when this comes back in because your body's starting to move there. See, for some people, it might even be slightly uncomfortable for the first time it moves. That's your energy moving, yeah? And we need to be able to use it. So if that energy isn't moving, it means we're vulnerable, okay? And I don't want you guys, please don't be vulnerable. I'm trying my hardest here. It's a long course, but that's why I do what I do. I don't want anybody being vulnerable, yeah? We have to move out of, you're not broken. You just need to relearn how to use all this beautiful you again, you know? It's all you. Please don't think of yourselves as broken. Think of yourselves as a little bit more evolved, because we are, okay? And channeling basically means that you channel often the other side, okay? So when you go to sleep, sometimes we go out and visit different relatives, but sometimes we go back and try and find parts of ourselves. So hands back to a prayer position. Keep your eyes closed. And what we're going to do is bring part of our spirit all the ways back in now. Okay, here it comes. Whether you feel it or not. A lot of you may feel it right on the front of your chest there. Some of you will feel it on the top of your shoulders, and some of you will feel it in the back. It's all completely different because you all use your energy so completely different and have had totally different senses and feelings going on and different things in life, okay? But what is coming back in there is your spirit. Now we're going to emphasize this a little bit more now. So clasp your hands back on your chest for a moment. and you can open your eyes for a moment. What we're going to do is, with our hands about probably, I don't know, 6 inches, possibly around that, we're going to go up, down, and we're just going to slowly introduce our spirit back in so that we channel our own spirit, because that's how we get our intuition and instinct to work more easily. Again, don't go up and down like, we've got to go slow. Slow is feeling. And so we're not feeling, we're sensing. Okay? Totally different analogy. So we're just sensing what is us. Close your eyes. Your energy goes inwards, and we just slowly, slowly, slowly go down, all the way down to the base of our body. And then just come back up again. Slowly coming up, gently, gently. Now we're going to go down again. Slowly going down, nice and easy, gentle, gentle. Now we're not fully all the way down, but just turn your palms so that they face all the way, a little bit, all the way to your feet. And what's happening is your consciousness is going all the way through your legs. Slowly turn that palm back towards yourself, and it may shake. Then slowly bring it back up. Bring it all the way up, and bring it all the way up right to the top of your head. Right up as high as you can go. And slowly bring it back down again. That's it. Keep going. And when we get down near to the base of our legs, we turn the palms, let them go all the way down to our feet. So our hands are still clasped together, yeah? Our hands are still clasped together, and they're just sort of pointing down towards the feet there. Nice feeling all that beautiful energy, isn't it? And then we'll start to turn our hands back towards our body again. And then we'll slowly bring it all the way back up again, please, guys. Because we're sensing, not feeling. Still sensing. And we're going up past our face. That's it. All the way up, right to on top of our head. We hold it here. That's it. Everybody's moving. Good work. And again, slowly, slowly bring that down. We hold it just in front of bring it down until it's in front of your face, and just hold it in front of your face there for a little bit. And then we'll keep going down. And we're all finding all this beautiful, beautiful energy and consciousness. And as we get down right to the base of our body, we turn those hands a little bit and we face all the way down to our feet. Because we're a whole collective conscious, guys, we aren't just conscious in our head, yeah? We are a whole collective conscious, and we've got to use the consciousness that's in the whole of our entire body. That's it. Bring the hands all the way back up. Keep coming up. And again, we'll hold it in front of your face for just a few moments. Then move it all the way right to the top of the head. And then we'll bring it all the way back down, right on our chest. Now, when your hands are back on your chest, what you're doing is you're sensing all this different consciousness that we've activated. So we've got spirit and consciousness all activated all at the same time. And we're all starting to notice what is us. It also means that we're starting to bring in lots of our intuition and instinct that went outside, because that's all directly connected to your soul and your heart. And this allows us to just channel us, okay? We're just starting to channel you instead of everybody else, okay? Hence, there's a lot of yawns. It's not just because you're tired, yeah? Because as your energy moves, I see lots and lots of yawns. That's it. And bring your hand straight to a prayer position. We'll now move our left hand to right elbow, left hand to left elbow. So we just look a bit like this, yeah? And again, we'll swap those hands over. So we just reverse the arms and the hands. We then put our hands under our opposite armpit, so under armpits. Some of you may shake a little bit as soon as you get here. But there's a lot of you who are just bringing together different parts of you, left, right, and center. Perfect. And really, we haven't done very much today, although we have in some ways, because this is only a tiny little introduction. And we'll go arms the other way again, because we're reintroducing your spirit to your consciousness. And all those channels are starting to slow down because you're channeling you now, not everybody else. Arms the other way. Again, we're introducing ourselves. And we're just using neutral energy, which means we don't have to force anything, yeah? Again, we'll shift, please. Shaking away. Beautiful. All moving. And arms shift again one more time. Lovely. Now, left hand to right shoulder, right hand to left shoulder. Now, some of you may notice that it's almost like you're in an elevator and coming up. So what you're doing is you're bringing all these different types of things that you didn't notice before, and you're bringing them back, and you're going to notice them now, okay? All these beautiful parts of you, all the inner beauty of you, Yes, us guys have inner beauty too. And arms the other way, please. That's it. And we're just getting used to subtle energy instead of forceful energy, okay? It's quite a change, because when we can use more physical energy than subtle energy, we totally miss all the meaning and all the messages of ourselves, okay? So if you are shaking all around a lot sometimes and be felt overcomfortable, it basically means that you're listening more to the physical energy and not the spirit energy of your body, okay? And now we're just listening to your spirit energy more, and we're coming quieter. Feel it? See how we're getting a lot more comfortable in just being us, because we're listening to spirit, intuition, and instinct, not physical intuition and instinct, which often has a lot more interference in it. Arms the other way, please. And again, as soon as we shifted, there's a lot of you like very similar to what I'd call in an elevator, and that is you noticing more of you. And it's very important, because you're tuning into you. This is retuning, okay? Because we all detune. Now you're starting to retune into yourself, okay? Instead of everybody else. Because when you're highly sensitive, you have so many senses, and you just haven't realized that a lot of them have turned off. And shift again, please. Now, just think of it this way. The ones that detune and turn off means the ones that are left are going to be working 50 times to 1,000 times harder. They're doing a lot of work. But sometimes it's also like asking your ear to tell you what your feet are walking on. You know, they got no idea, because certain senses are made for certain things. And then sometimes the senses that we turned off can be need to tell us very imperative things, and they can't, okay? Because we can't ask all the questions that we need to be able to ask. We can get an answer, but it's an answer without all the very important senses that we need to use. And that's why sometimes we feel very uncomfortable, angry, pissed off, or just simply out of tune. Arms the other way, please. So we have a lot to return on, okay? We also have a lot of work to sort of turn off a lot of things too. And get way more comfortable, okay? And we can't, I'm not Dave the Wonder Dog, you know, I can't do it all in one day, unfortunately. I'm sorry. I wish I could. And straight back to a prayer position. And straight onto your chest again. Flat on your chest. And straight to a prayer position again. And straight on the flat of your chest again. Straight to a prayer position again. Now, hold that prayer position and slowly open your eyes, please. And close. So what you're doing now is you're starting to look through the eyes, or the focus of a new perception of you. So keep your hands still in a prayer position. And open your eyes again. So you're refocusing on all these things that have been detuned, and you're turning them back on a bit. Slowly, slowly, but surely. Open your eyes again. And close. Open your eyes one more time and close. Now, keep your eyes closed, but drop your hands. Just let them drop anywhere, nowhere specific. Now you're transitioning, okay? You're just getting used to using these new parts that have turned on, that have been detuned. And as I said, it's like thousands of different senses that we've turned off, and then slowly, we're starting to bring them back on again, bit by bit, which means that we see a little bit more perspective of ourselves and a little bit less perspective of everybody else, in that we don't let them push us around as much, okay? Okay, slowly open your eyes. Now, to keep ourselves in balance, it's imperative that our energy moves, okay? It's absolutely essential. So just think about this going to the gym every day. If your energy doesn't move, then we can't hold this, okay? So it's imperative that we do these basic energy moves every day. So everybody stand up, and this is your what we need to do each and every day, and we'll be sending you out the exercises. Okay, so again, we're going to be actively grounding, okay? And this is how we begin to make sure that our energy that has been sort of going out everywhere to help other people other than ourselves, okay? Because when we're highly sensitive, sometimes we have different empathy. So if you're highly empathetic, if you are over nurturing, over empathetic in certain areas, if you have a mediumship that you may not even be aware of, if it's where we're sort of over intuitive, over instinctive, then we pick up a lot of different things. So this is about making sure that that energy isn't going out and it's staying within ourselves, okay? So we become contained. So again, we get to open our legs to a good width, hands on the side of our legs, close your eyes, and we're just repeating where we basically started, okay? We just hold this until, I'm just going to hold this because don't forget, you've all shifted, you've all changed. Yes, there's quite a few, you're all going forward straight away. But we're going to hold this until the whole energy moves, because so many of you aren't used to this new energy. Okay, here we go. It's just starting to move now. And we're just starting to move forward now once. Moving forward again twice. Moving forward again 3 times. Our hands go straight onto our hips, please. We hold it here. We're moving forward once, twice, times. And remember, when your hands are on your hips, you bring lots of parts of you together. Hands straight to a prayer position now. Now, each and every day when your hands go into this position, don't be surprised if you find more inner parts of you that you haven't noticed before, okay? Lots more of your inner you that you've just detuned, you'll start to notice more of, okay? For those of you who are used to sensing very quiet energy, you will feel like, even sometimes you'll feel like a whole body of you will come out, okay? We're just starting to move forward once, twice, 3 times. Hands to those shoulders again, guys. nice and gently. And we're cross-referencing here, okay? That's why our hands are on our shoulders. We're starting to cross-reference all the different types of spirit, energy, consciousness. We're going into all that cellular memory, mind and matter. We're just starting to move forward now once, twice, 3 times. And we'll swap those arms around the other way, please. There's a lot of you who are starting to open up and get and find loads and loads and loads of new information. Just starting to move forward. There's one, there's two, there's three. And straight back to a prayer position. Moving forward. 1, 2, 3. And now we dump. Because we found what is imperative, we've also found what isn't us. So we get rid of it. We're not allowing other certain stuff that's not of us to just push us around. We're moving forward once, moving forward twice, 3 times. Hands back to a prayer position. 1, 2, 3. And now we put our hands straight onto the front of our legs, everyone. And we're going to repeat this so it's exactly the same, but completely different energy, okay? And there's a lot of you, your energy's moving in beautifully now in your legs and in your hips. It hasn't moved before, okay? We're moving forward once, moving forward twice, moving forward 3 times, and hands on hips. So don't forget, before your energy was making all these tiny little cycles around, not including all the information you're able to receive in your whole entire body. Yeah. Which means it's like only asking a third of a question, yeah, of what we need. Just moving forward once, moving forward twice, moving forward 3 times, hands back to a prayer. So if we can't ask all the questions we need, we can't even ask if we even matter. Yeah. Are we relevant? Do I love myself? Am I needed? Yeah. Moving forward once, twice, 3 times, hands back to shoulders. So as we go through this and we get better at this, we find a lot of different logic, loads and loads of different logic as to why we matter, how we matter, how everything in our life matters. Once, twice, 3 times. Arms the other way, please. Again, moving forward once, twice, 3 times. Hands back to a prayer position. 1, 2, 3. And again, dump, please. That's lovely, guys. We've all moved a long way. Hands back to a prayer. 1, 2, 3. So that's all we have to do every morning. And once you're good at it, honestly, you can do it in a couple of minutes. Okay. Now, of a morning, our energy is activating. So at night time, we've got a totally different energy to do at night time. So of a morning, we activate. At night time, we heal ourselves. So this is your nighttime energy movement. Okay. So hands not on the front of your legs, not on the side, but in between the front and the side there, okay, on the corners of our legs, okay? Hold them there. And we're going to do what is basically a subtle healing on ourselves, okay? So close your eyes. Now, our energy has to get incredibly flexible or floppy, if you like, even. Because if our energy is rigid, we can't heal, okay? We can't do anything. You have to become incredibly flexible. So don't be surprised if you feel all floppy, all flexible, and it just, your whole energy system's different, okay? So again, keep your eyes closed, and here we go. Moving forward once, forward twice, moving forward 3 times. Again, we put a go again straight to our hips, although it's completely different energy. Moving forward once, moving forward twice, moving forward 3 times. Now we clasp our hands gently down in front of, just a little under your belly button there. So just nice and easy. And just a fraction off your body. So about 1.5 inches, 2 inches off your body. And we'll just hold it here till everyone gets used to it. Because what we're going to do now is scan our body on how we need to heal. Okay, moving forward once, moving forward twice, moving forward 3 times. Now, very gently and quietly, we drag the hands up. Now, what we're doing is we're looking for efficiencies that are working properly, and then we add to them, okay? So we don't bring our hands up real quick, because we're looking where we're working efficiently and where we can add extra cycles, nice and easily and gently. And during the night, we basically heal these. We bring it right up to the top of our chest and put it on our chest once you get up there. There's no hurry, guys. This is you finding where you're efficient, but where you would like to add extra efficiency, okay? We're not looking where you're broken, we're looking where you work beautifully and perfectly. Moving forward once, moving forward twice, moving forward 3 times. Okay, straight to shoulders again. Cross them over. Beautiful. Moving forward once, moving forward twice, moving forward 3 times, and the opposite way, everyone, please. Again, moving forward once, twice, 3 times. Right back to a prayer position. Moving forward once, twice, 3 times, and then we just dump. Same as before. 1, 2, 3, and back to prayer. 1, 2, 3. That's all we have to do. But just for today, we've woken up because you're all highly sensitive, we have all these bodies that haven't moved, okay? So we all have circadian rhythms in every single body of energy that we have: consciousness, mind, and memory. So it means some of them can, once they haven't been able to basically communicate, so we need to basically be able to turn them down a bit. So just put your hands up like 2 stop signs now. And just close your eyes. Now we're going to go through all the circadian rhythms that are in your body. Now you don't have to do this every night, okay? It's just today when we're doing the healing, okay? Hold it there. Hold it. Hold it. Just hold your hands there. You don't do what I do, just hold your hands there. Hold your hands there. Put your hands straight back to a prayer position. Okay. So we only do that first part of the nighttime. This part here, you don't do again. Okay?
So we're going to give very clear instructions in the email with the recording, and we're also going to, when we share the recording with you, we're going to separate the grounding exercises out so that you can see exactly what you need to do every morning, which I do first thing in the morning as soon as I get up, and exactly what you do in the evening. I do it just last thing at night before I go to bed. It only takes a few minutes, each one of them, so it's very easy to fit into your routine. So we will have everything both written, and you'll have the videos, and they'll be separated out from the main video so that it's really clear, because we've done a lot today, a lot.
So we have started to slowly also stimulate your conscious, but from here on in, we explode it. Basically, we've got so much to really explore. So you turn into Dora the Explorer. You know, we've got so much guys to explore and to have fun with. You know, and it's just waking up all these imperative parts, because when they turn on, they're influenced by you, not influenced by everybody else, and that's very important. As you begin to influence yourself, then we don't take on all the influences of everybody else. Yeah, it's a lot of work. You got to do exercises every night, but hey, become incredibly quiet. When you become incredibly quiet, you can actually hear yourself and hear what you need to do in life. You know, you connect to what's really imperative. And it also means that we don't miss all the really specific things that are going on in life. Like often our partners are trying to give us loving messages, but because we're so highly sensitive and we detune a bit, they can come up and say, "Oh, hi, darling, really love you." And it's almost like their energy pisses you off, because they may have dragged a whole load of their energy back. So this is about finding out all the beautiful messages your partners have all been giving you. The other thing is that it generally sparks up loads of information for your family, because as you change, they start to change as well, which means it quietens your family down. And all of a sudden, the kids start talking to you and you won't get rid of them. Well, isn't that terrible? Yeah, but they start to talk to you, not just, not talking, they come and, "Mum, mum, mum." It's more like, "Mum, what about this and what about that?" And they can have the deepest conversations. It also means that your friends sort of tone down a bit, okay? So you notice more the imperative conversations, because highly sensitive people tend to have highly sensitive friends, yeah? Because we can't stand people who are just, their energy's loud and obnoxious all the time. We can't change who we're related to and all that, but our friends, you know, we choose who we want to hang around, yeah? So it just makes it a heck of a lot easier, so that when you're starting to talk this very subtle energy language, it means that all of a sudden you start to have a conversation on a lot deeper level, because what your energy and your spirit says is a totally different conversation to what your mouths are saying. Yeah, it's like, I mean, as a child, I'd know when people would be saying something, but what they're really saying, their energy and their consciousness is saying, is completely different. So we know that they don't even know what their spirit and consciousness is up to, you know, or, you know, they're not telling us everything on the level, because when you're highly sensitive, we can really, it's a great bullshit barometer, yeah, and we can really pick up crap, yeah. So it means that we don't put up with all the bullshit so much more, yeah. It means that we're asking, it's sort of like you're searching out for the relationships that are more in tune and they're more real, yeah, because we're talking on a completely different and more conscious level, because your consciousnesses are going to explode. Okay, we're going to show you so many different ways of how to use your consciousness in ways you've never even thought, which creates a greater logic, yeah, and it gives us more dynamics to actually understand the world and what's actually going on.
So I
Sorry,
think I
so
need to just explain, give a little bit of context to what you're saying. Um, so what we're going to do next is run a course that builds on what you've done today. It's a 4-week course and it starts at exactly the same time next week as we started today. So it'll run 4 weeks. We usually add on an extra one at the end, what we call a balance, which is really to check in with everybody. It'll be 1 or 2 weeks after the end of the course. And I think David has shared so much today that I'm not going to go into the detail of what might be in the course, because you can probably see that, first of all, there's just tremendous experience. So, you know, whether you know that it's your spirit body this week or the next week doesn't really matter. We're doing the absolutely foundational work for your energy so that you can become strong and have that independence and all the things that David's been talking about. So we do this is the foundational work for that. We ran a course back in January, as I've mentioned earlier, and I think it was really life-changing for many people, because perhaps it was the first time that they really felt and started to know their own energy rather than this very mixed up energy. So the course it costs $200, and if Catalina is here, I don't know if she's still here because she may have had to go out. She'll share the link. I'll also share the link with you by email so that you can sign up. It'll basically be more of the same, well, different of the same, if you see what I mean. The timing is always, how long it takes is always a little unpredictable. So whatever I say, it always seems to go longer. We won't be running, the next course it'll be several months until we can do the next course. Somebody's just asking, how often do we start the course? So we're doing it about 3 times a year, it looks like. I would say that if you have friends that you know this would be incredibly valuable for, I'm going to leave the sign-up page for this webinar open. It's not quite the same when you're not live, but it's still really powerful. I'm going to leave the sign-up page so people can access the recording, because I think there are so many people at the moment who really need this work and might not need to wait until nearly the end of the year for the next one. So Catalina's put the link into the chat there for how you can join the course. I will send you an email today with the recording, with the broken out grounding, with instructions. I will also include instructions for if you're not feeling great, if you feel exhausted tomorrow or the day after. That can happen sometimes with this work. It just means your energy is kind of shifting around, you're releasing a whole lot of old stuff. It's very normal in energy work, and it's a good thing that these happen. Yeah, David.
One thing about that too. Okay, so we're moving a lot of different bodies, okay, especially your physical body too. So senses and physical emotions and feelings aren't all on the same thing, okay? So we'll leave you we sent out instructions about a lemon bath, did we, Sarah?
We did already, yeah. And
Okay.
I'll include it again.
I would say don't forget your lemon bath, okay? But please only use 3 lemons. Don't think, oh, more is better. This is one of the things where more isn't better, especially if you've got beautiful natural lemons at home, okay? So only cut up those, try and have a lemon bath tomorrow, because you're going to release loads and loads of feelings and emotions that aren't actually yours, but they would be rebounding in your body. Just like we have muscle memory, yeah? Because all this stuff, it's a bit like when our emotions and feelings, when we can't use certain senses, so we make too many toxins in certain areas and not enough in others. So what happens is we get this toxic overload. So try and have a lemon bath tomorrow, and then another one probably in about 3 or 4 days, okay? It's also great for getting rid of lactic acid, okay? If you're a heavy exerciser, sometimes your emotions, we release a lot of emotions as we exercise, yeah? So, but it's also a great time to have a lemon bath, yeah? So don't add salts or anything else, essences or whatever. Just have the lemons. It just works, okay?
David, are you going to have the advanced course anytime soon?
We've got another one coming up
We
somewhere.
haven't got the date for the next advanced course. I'd really like to run 2 beginners courses and then run an advanced course. So it's likely to be probably early next year. What we will do is some advanced classes, like just 1 or 2 sessions in between. I think that's most likely. I think it's going to be closer to 2 hours. What we did last time was we said it was an hour and a half, but we took questions after that, and we just took as many questions as we needed to. So a lot of people stayed on for the questions, and it tends to run to about 2 hours. We need to do the work that we need to do. We just try the best we can. I am sending everything by email, and I imagine it's better. It is definitely better to use fresh lemons than bottled lemon juice. Obviously, if you absolutely can't get lemons, I think people can get lemons again these days. I know there was a shortage last year.
Limes are fine too. Okay.
Limes, did you say?
Limes are fine too.
Yeah,
Limes, lemon, doesn't matter.
All the classes will be recorded. Obviously, come live if you possibly can, but if you have to miss one, everything will be recorded. The full instructions for the lemon baths and what to do if you can't have a lemon bath are in the email we already sent you and will be repeated today. Cherie, you need another lemon bath tomorrow. David said tomorrow, in and about 3 days after that. Okay, so 3 fresh lemons or 3 limes. Yes, please, if you don't have a bathtub, go and read the email. It gives you precise instructions on what to do if you don't have a bathtub. I don't have a bathtub. I actually bought, this is very funny, but I bought this kind of, it's like $30 or something, a plastic blow-up bath. You wouldn't imagine it. And you just pump it up and you kind of sit in it. And I can't even put it in my bathroom. I have to sit out. I sit out on my deck looking at nature. It's amazing. And I fill up this plastic bath with water every now and then. So there are solutions if you don't have a bathtub that actually work. But we have given full instructions. We will also put them in where the recording will be hosted. All the instructions will be written there, so you can't miss it. The other thing is to say you don't need to repeat what we've done today, only the grounding exercises, okay? We've done that work, finished, all right? The grounding exercises are what need to be repeated. Yeah, I think that's it, yeah?
One other thing about that, also, it's really good about what is amazing is that when we're in a group, your energy from everybody is helping everybody else. So everyone is sort of probably strong in lots of different areas. And what happens is where you're strong in one area, you can be helping someone else be secure in another area, and then vice versa. Everybody swaps, not where you're inefficient, but where you're efficient. And so basically everybody drags everyone who's not as efficient along. So you find all these different efficiencies in different parts, different areas, your spirit, your consciousness, and your physiology just to work. And we find all the matter that really makes the difference. And it's just wonderful to see everybody shift because everybody's basically helping everybody else as well. Okay.
Yeah. David, if somebody's done this course before, I mean, it's never exactly the same anyway. Is it fine for them to do it again?
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah. I do it every time. So yes, if you want to do another beginner course, you just want to top up. I find it very helpful to kind of keeps my energy in good shape, even though I do work with David regularly anyway. So if you have done it before. Cinnamon Rose,
Sarah?
does this kind of work result in relationships falling off? Generally, it mostly will improve your relationships and kind of make them more balanced. I mean, if you've got a relationship that's really just has no value for you, it'll probably drop away quite easily. I would say. Yeah, there is a. Okay, David.
Yeah, our body doesn't really like toxic relationships. That's all.
Yeah, Firuze.
Yes, I never took the first course, but David had suggested last time that I move on to the advanced course since I've been working with him. But it's going to be a while before we do the advanced, it sounds like. So should I be in this course for now, just while we wait until we get this second one going?
I think
David?
you have to make that choice.
David, can you?
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt you, darling.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Okay.
David, in terms of the one-on-one work, David does do one-on-one work, but it is much better to do this course first. He has to do all this stuff with people one-on-one over and over again. That's one of the reasons why I said that I wanted to run courses like this is to prevent him from having to do that over and over and over and over again for people whose energy is not used to it. It's much harder for all of us who work with energy, working with beginners. So that's one of the reasons we have this course. So please do the course first, and then, then you can go.
And also, when you're not working on one-on-one, you, as I said before, you move a lot quicker. You find a lot of parts where you're not sort of, oh, what's he talking about? But then things just sort of fall into place, you know?
Yeah, it's much easier in a group. It's so much power available.
Then it's really worth working on somebody one-on-one, because otherwise you spend all your money on just learning the basics, whereas I can get you all to learn the basics and then we can just work on really specific stuff afterwards, you know?
Yeah. And the question about the lemon bath there, the instructions in the email are correct, okay? So as long as you follow the instructions, they are checked and correct. All right, I think we're going to draw a close to this. This has been a long session. I imagine most of the Europeans have disappeared already. Wow, a few of you left, so that's amazing. And I'm sorry that it ends up being so late. It's just, this is the only time where we can get most of the world, but not Asia, together. So we just do the best that we can with this. So this course that is coming up is the beginner's course, all right? It's not an advanced course. You can't do an advanced course if you haven't done the beginner's course. So if you've not worked with David before, this is absolutely for you. If you want to do it again, you're welcome. You will need to pay again, of course, but you're welcome to come and join in again. It's always valuable if you've done it before. And I will send you everything, and I hope that as many as possible of you will join us in this course. For the time and the money, the value of it will last the whole of your lifetime. Literally, it's something that grows and builds, because once you're doing the grounding and you've got all this foundation, every time you ground, you bring in new information. So it's kind of like it works. It is part of the thank you money bonus. For those of you who've been given it as part of the thank you money bonus, it is that, and you're already in the course. Okay, so if you're doing the thank you money program with me and it was one of the bonuses that you were offered when you signed up, then you are already included in the course, and you don't need to do anything except for show up. You'll get the reminder emails. Okay? Wow, thank you everybody. Thank you, David, for your incredible knowledge and the generosity of your sharing it with all of us and teaching so much in your first session. It's so incredibly valuable. And thank you, everybody, because this collective shift that happens when we do this work together has a huge ripple effect. And so there's a huge contribution in doing this. So I'm looking forward to seeing you next week. And if anyone doesn't feel good and you feel concerned, send me an email right away. If you have questions about the course or anything that's unclear, send me an email or send an email to support@sarahmccrum.com. We will respond to your emails. Okay? Thank you.
Thank you, David.
Thank you,
Thank you,
bye.
Sarah. Bye.
Bye-bye. See you later. Bye-bye.